would like to have assistance in this. Data analysis is one of the key areas where most people get challenges. For example, most people are not able to distinguish between whether they should use primary data or secondary data, or the types of data analysis techniques they are going to engage or maybe to conduct. But today we are going to look into it clearly, and maybe if anyone has a question can come in the comment section. The first thing you should note is that the types of data analysis you are going to conduct or you're going to use, so that to put into your problem into perspective, or maybe to answer the gap of the study, these techniques should come from, should be arrived at, or maybe should be conceptualized when you are formulating or developing the topic, the variables and the objectives and the type of data that you're going to use should be conceptualized at inception. This means that you cannot decide to come up. It's okay, some of us will do it, but it's not advisable for you to first come up with the topic and then you proceed, so that you can look for the data after you are in chapter 3 or chapter 4, chapter 2 or chapter 3. You're supposed to first of all conceptualize or develop, or the minute you're thinking about your problem or the gap of the study, that's where you are supposed to decide and to know where your source of data is going to come from, the type of data, that is either primary or secondary, and whether the data is actually available, and whether if it's available, if it's accessible. Because those are two different things: availability and accessibility. There are cases where people have decided to take data that is can be seen to be available but is not accessible. For example, you can decide to use data that is restricted, or maybe which is the data that requires you to pay, so that you can have access to the same, or maybe you can be able to download or maybe edit the data. Those are two different scenarios. So when you've now decided on the type of data, you've come up with the problem, you've come up with the objectives, and within you have conceptualized where you're going to get your data, how you are going to collect your data, how you're going to clean your data, how you're going to code, how you're going to do the analysis, and the expectation of the report. The expectation of the report comes in because you have a hypothesis for your study. You know what you expect with the findings, and you know what you want to establish. Most of us start the study or the gap having known, or maybe having in mind, the expectation of the conclusion of the study, or the summary, or the findings. That's where the hypothesis comes in, that you may either find this possibility or this particular possibility. For example, when you want to investigate the relationship between just any not any specific case, but an example. For example, you may want to investigate the influence of water quality on life expectancy, or the quality of life, or the utility or satisfaction of life. You know, the first variable is water quality. Water quality. That is the independent variable. The reason why we're saying it is the independent variable is because the independent variable is independent. It stands on its own, and we are investigating whether it is able to influence, and its influence on life expectancy, whether the influence is positive or negative. So the topic would be, is supposed to have a independent variable and the dependent variable, and the expected relationship between the two. This expected relationship can either be positive or negative. And the hypothesis, you're going to have the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. In the null hypothesis, I hope I'm not going too fast. In the null hypothesis, you can have a null hypothesis which says the water quality has a statistical significant relationship or has a significant influence on the quality of life or life expectancy. The second hypothesis, that is the alternative hypothesis, can be, or maybe can state, the water quality does not have significant or statistical significance influence on the quality of life. That is we have addressed the topic, the formulation of the topic, and the topic, and maybe the population. You know, with the topic, you're supposed to have the dependent variable, independent variable, and the population for your topic to be complete. The dependent variable for this case is the quality of life. The independent variable is the water quality, and we're investigating influence of water quality on life expectancy or quality of life, or utility in life, or maybe life satisfaction in a particular place. Influence of water quality on life expectancy in Kenya, a case study of maybe Lamu County or maybe Turkana County. Now that will be a complete topic.